Welcome to the end of day review for Friday, the 8th of March 2024. Starting off with the economic calendar. As we usually do, we've had a bunch of red folder news being an NFP day. As you can see, the news results were somewhat mixed and didn't support any specific buys for the New York session. So let's jump into the charts and then unpack what had happened. So from a daily perspective, what we did know going into the day, which is Friday. Okay, that call out got lost, but essentially what we were anticipating is that on Thursday we had a bullish market close, and that made 5 consecutive bullish candles, and we were anticipating that Friday would be a bearish day. However, that didn't materialize, and we look at the 4 hours, that what actually happened was that we were in and around this area, and essentially on Friday we were right around here. So Thursday actually body broke the 4H bearish market structure. If we look at that, we had a confirmed bearish market trend. However, what then happened is Thursday body broke it, plunging us into a pro-trend unconfirmed state, because now at this point we don't know if this is just a liquidity grab or are we actually going to build higher lows and higher highs. That remains to be seen. The idea with Friday is that we reached this pro-trend previously confirmed, and we were essentially anticipating that price would pull back, given that the daily bias and the daily consecutive candles suggest that a bearish day is more likely than not. However, as you saw on the daily, that didn't really materialize, and again on Friday we came in with the mindset that we're in an unconfirmed scenario, and thus 3 elements need to be present to support our short trading idea. The first was a 4H OB supporting shorting, which we did have. We did have a substructure level to target, which is this at the time, and then subsequent to that we had internal range liquidity along this to bring us into this level, or this area rather. Then if we go to the 5 minute and unpack what had happened, so essentially when Frankfurt opened, we pushed down, took out the Asia liquidity to the low side. Again, Frankfurt and London didn't have any news, so we couldn't validate why the Asia high should hold. In addition, yesterday didn't create a previous high of the day or a new leg to help us validate a short position, so that was out of the question. London essentially put in a high of the day, and at that point we knew that there wasn't really any opportunity to short until the New York session. At that point, we essentially let go of any trade ideas, and then moving into the New York session, what we could essentially see is that at 12 or noon, essentially 3 hours before the New York session opened and 3.5 hours before NFP, we had this body break, and that validated new substructure. So already at that point it was getting a bit difficult to navigate shorting in this area right here, because this would pose a significant barrier in an unconfirmed scenario. Then we had NFP news results, and like we saw, it wasn't consistent, so it wasn't all positive as we would hope for shorting GBPUSD. Instead, it was more negative than positive, and as a result, we saw price moving to the upside. Again, where price actually reached was quite difficult to justify what price is stepping into and why it made sense to short. And again, for a New York high of the day to make sense, we need New York news to be aligned with positive results to then support why this should hold. At that point, after the NFP news release, we were pretty much done for the day, because there wasn't really any scope for shorting in line with the daily bias. And that was pretty much the end of day review for Friday. So that's that. Yeah, I hope you had a good trading week last week, and we'll chat again for today's end of day review, being the 11th of March.